Trail talk time. Out on another beauty of a trail. Just breathing in that fresh chi. Soaking in this beautiful Mother Nature. And that's what I wanted to talk about today. You know, there's a term called ecotherapy. You just have to absorb all this beautiful nature, you know. Put yourself out in nature spaces, and it's a true form of therapy. You know, I practice it every day. So I see the results firsthand. It's so amazing what nature can provide for us. Especially nowadays, you know, we live in such a stressful way, and we have such a fast-paced society nowadays, right? Everything's coming at us a million miles an hour. We're jumping from one thing to the next, and so many people live in bigger cities and they don't really get out into nature as much anymore. They're just surrounded by the city life, and there's so many studies showing how stressful that can be for our bodies and our minds and our emotions and everything. So I think it's important for everyone at least once in a while to get out into nature spaces where you're away from all of that chaos. You know, it's beautiful to be able to find your peace or your center in whatever environment you're in, but it's a whole lot easier when you can immerse yourself in a beautiful open space in nature. And I've been learning about in Japan, they're doing a lot of studies and taking people out into nature immersion so that they can feel less stress for their work and everything, right? It's part of their program for work to get their employees to feel happier and to stay healthier so they can be there longer and to do a better job. And I learned about these chemicals that a lot of trees can produce. They're called phytoncides, and I believe that they're used to sort of fight off any type of predator that's trying to maybe hurt the tree. But when we take that in, it's actually helping us and de-stressing us. And they've done so many studies about trees, you know, in areas where there's more greenery as compared to a city space where there's less green and trees in your environment. And they've shown like there's less stress, you know, in areas where there's more trees. There is less ADHD symptoms, right? Of kids that have ADHD who are more sporadic and they have a more chaotic mind and energy. This helps to calm them down. And it's such a beautiful thing to be able to find that calmness, because a lot of kids deal with that, right? Not just kids. And it also helps to reduce the crime. They've had studies showing that the crime levels are higher in places where there's less, you know, greenery and trees around. And that's the way you see it when big city centers get built up in capital cities. There's a lot of negative effects that come with that, you know, lifestyle and that environment. And they've done studies about patients that are in the hospital. When they have views of trees, then their recovery time is faster and they have a higher state of well-being. And they've even done studies about neighborhoods that have bigger trees, even the size of trees, right? It has more wildlife around them, and they've shown greater, you know, a higher rate of well-being there as well, and better health for the people in those areas and neighborhoods. And it's so amazing, you know, there's so much research going on right now in Japan that's continuing with this venture and opening people up to realizing, you know, ecotherapy is such a beautiful and easy way to help improve our health and find that peace of mind, right? When I come out into nature, and I'm walking down a trail. I'm surrounded by trees. I've got the wind just blowing. I feel like this is our natural state. This is our natural home. I've spoken about in many videos how when we're cut off from nature, we're always inside, indoors, in these buildings with four walls around us, or we're in these big cities and we're cut off from nature spaces, then it's like cutting ourselves off from our true home, right? This is our natural environment, and so our body and our mind and everything will be able to thrive that much more when we're surrounded by nature. And it's so many benefits, to having all of this around you, all of the oxygen that these trees and plants create, right? They're helping to filter the air and help us to breathe more deeply and take in that oxygen and get energized more and more by each breath that we take. And it's quite significant, right? I can feel it. Sometimes if I'm feeling a bit low or groggy or anything, I go for a walk, and it might only be maybe a 10-minute walk or something, and I come back feeling refreshed and energized and so much more clear. It doesn't take that much. So whenever people, ask me for recommendations about improving their health or anything, we always talk about diet, but I always, talk to them about taking at least one walk every single day. And if you can, making it in a nature space, right? Being surrounded by nature as much as you can. If you can't, or there's not much around you, even just getting out and going for a walk outside in general, right? Go around your block or whatever. It's beautiful. But to really be just surrounded by nature, feel that beautiful vibe of nature. Maybe connecting with these animals out here. As a beautiful squirrel is on the trail. Just so inspiring. Nature always has something inspiring to give. And it's completely free, right? It's free therapy. What could be better than that? I feel so often in life, we complicate things so much, right? We stress over things because we're simply complicating things. And again, that's because we've cut ourselves off from our natural state of being and our natural environment, which shows us the simplicity of life. Shows us how everything works so beautifully balanced together. We don't have to complicate anything. We can just flow just as nature flows. Everything has its beautiful rhythm and timing, and just get this nice sense of ease as I'm just chilling in nature. So yeah, I don't want to go too deep into it. It's a simple message that I wanted to share for today. Something that helps me so much every single day, just getting out into nature, immersing yourself in this beautiful natural space, taking in all this beauty that Mother Earth is sharing with us every single day. So yeah, have an amazing day and really get out and enjoy Mother Nature's wonders. It'll do so much for your health and well-being. Peace and limitless love.